F word, and today's F word is fun. And we are joined with Becky Loto from Tides Business. Hello.
Hi, Laura. Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you for coming in. We were just talking before we started filming that we actually haven't had chance to sit and really chat about what we do. And so today is that first proper conversation, but recorded.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well.
So can you tell us a little bit about Tides Business?
Yeah, it's set up. Tides, first of all, the name is because I love the sea, the ocean, everything to do with it, in it, under, on it, surfing, scuba diving, paddleboarding, swimming. And it's constantly moving. So that's with business, you're constantly moving. It's a constant because you know they're going to happen twice a day, but they're never the exact same time, same place, everywhere in the world's different. So that's the name. So it's really helping people to get that calm. Most people I work with are very ambitious, and I always call it a blessed curse because you've got that plan, you've got that idea, but then you've also got 500 other ideas you also want to do. But then wherever you go, whoever you talk to, another idea pops into your head. So it's like the shiny penny syndrome. So it's really a game changer for me with the strategy part of it, is really thinking per quarter. You can have your big vision, and that's fabulous. What do you eventually want to do? What is the exit? So I always start at the end with any client I'm working at, 5 years, 10 years, depending on their age and their desires of when they want to stop, so to speak. So what is that end goal? Where do you want to be? What age are you? How much do you want in the bank? Sort of feel it, smell it, see it, imagine it, and then let's work back from there. How are you going to get there? I said, you can get there, but you can't do everything at once. If you chase two rabbits, you catch none. So it's really getting that strategy and then planning for the year. Okay, this year, let's get there, break it up into 4. And obviously, if an opportunity ever comes, you're going to grab it with both hands and, plans always flexible. However, you've got that end goal in sight per quarter. And for myself and my own business, I used to live in Mexico. I set up 3 businesses there, all very successful. No strategy at all. Running around like a headless chicken, stressed out in a bikini and flip-flops in the Caribbean, Mexico. It sounds ridiculous, but that's what happened.
The Caribbean would take the edge off slightly.
It didn't. It was just hot. It was even more stressful because it's hot. So now in the UK, with my property business and with Tides business, it's all about the strategy of planning. And I have to sort of fight myself, and I have my own mentor to keep me in check too. Right, you can do the podcast, the book, the global stages, not all this week.
Yeah.
Let's just keep for a quarter. What's your plan? What's your focus? And then it's an absolute game changer. So that's how I help clients. And it's all about bringing out their brilliance. Most people I work with, men and women, they don't realize the qualities they have, the experience, the knowledge inside them. It just shocks me. It's a game. It's like, come on, you are fabulous. You've got to own this. So bringing out the brilliance is one of my taglines. I love it.
That sounds brilliant.
Thank you.
So at what point did you decide that you wanted to move and change what you were doing from business ownership into still business ownership, but by supporting and coaching other business owners?
I moved from Mexico 10 years ago back to Cornwall, where I grew up, and then got a corporate job, like Cornish corporate job. So working for a global company, within a month, I was back in Mexico. So I was heading up their Americas, from Canada down to Chile, basically the whole of South America, and traveling a lot, doing a lot of trade shows. Absolutely love that. Meeting clients, speaking on stage, in my element. I love that client relationship and in person as well. So pandemic, everything was obviously, travel was gone instantly. I was like, whoa, I don't know if that job is for me anymore. I can't get the same enthusiasm for writing an email.
Yeah, or behind a screen and on Zoom.
Exactly. So that's when I decided to make the jump and, started going into more of the coaching arena, working with Growth Hub first of all. Then that was a very short contract, 5 months. I knew it was for 5 months until it ended. A lot of family and friends thought I was absolutely crazy leaving, this well-paid, global job. But I just needed a change. And I think the pandemic made a lot of people sort of wake up to that. And also I'd been an entrepreneur for so long in Mexico before. It was like, actually, what am I doing, So yeah, worked with Growth Hub, worked with Falmouth University as a business coach. And then from then it just like, wow, I found what I love. And I realized before I've done it for years before with friends, with business owners, and but all
Like
unofficially.
informal kind of coaching.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely. So it was, yeah, I suppose the pandemic really made me open my eyes to that and change.
And do you find that your experiences through your career and your sort of business ownership journey then helps you be able to like level with your clients and be
Yeah.
able to give them a bit of a real life perspective? So you're not kind of just saying this is what you should do. You're able to say this is I've been there and I've faced these obstacles myself.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's such a fine line between coaching and mentoring. And I definitely promote myself as a mentor. So that's why my nickname is Bossy Becky. It's, I'm telling you what to do in the nicest possible way. I want to
Yeah.
support you and do well. And I've been there. I've, founded 3 businesses in a foreign country obviously in Spanish. So, I've had a lot of roller coaster rides, let's put it that way. One business stopped overnight when a hurricane completely smashed up the village where I was living in. So I had to pivot very, very quickly. So all that experience I'm bringing to the game. And yeah, it's hard. It's hard work. It is a roller coaster, but something that I think when you've lived through it yourself, you can really empathize with people. And not every day is a good day. You can make your plans, and some days you just got to write them off, go to the beach or do whatever you love. And then the next day will be better.
Yeah, that's great advice. And your F word is fun. So
Yeah.
how do you incorporate that into the work you do?
So I have spent a lot of time in boardrooms being really bored. And there's no agenda. And it's like, oh, let's have a quick meeting, which has gone on for 2 hours. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is not for me. So obviously, business is there. You want to make money. Um, And but I think it should be fun. You should be doing something that you love doing. And I think that's, well, going on a tangent, one of the reasons why people have burnout is because they love what they're doing. They don't want to stop. They're working
Yeah.
all weekends. And I've had that, unfortunately. So now I'm very conscious of that. But fun is, you should be working with people you like. I'm at an age now where fortunately I can, I'm only going to work with people I like, and also the business values align with mine. If they're not, I'm sorry, I'm at capacity. I'm not available at the minute. Ever for you. And yeah, bringing that fun element to it. I mean, I think I've lived abroad a lot, for 21 years of my life. And it's learning things from different countries. My daughter's Mexican, my husband's Argentinian. That whole sort of Latin vibe is a lot traditionally warmer than the general British, let's be
Yeah.
honest. I am treading on water here as well. But it should be fun. Life should be fun. It's too short to have, be serious the whole time. So at workshops, people are going to be standing up doing the Mexican wave. They're going to be waving their arms in the air, whether they want to or not. It's physiological as well for getting the arms above the heart,
Okay.
get the energy going. There is
Yeah.
a reason for it as well. But it gets your blood pumping. It's fun. It's different. So
Yeah.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
And I think sometimes being able to like laugh at yourself or laugh at a
Yeah.
situation when your back's like really against the wall and you're
Yeah.
thinking that it's important, isn't it, to retain some sense of humour through.
It's got to be done,
Laugh or
otherwise you're going
cry.
crazy. Exactly, yeah. And every problem has a solution.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it's very hard to find what that may be in the moment of crisis,
Hmm.
but and sometimes it's an expensive solution, or sometimes it's going to take time. But that is when you count on the people around you, and that's one of the reasons why I see you always at networking events, Laura. We love networking because we both understand the power of it, being surrounded
Yes.
with people who can help you.
Yeah.
So my husband's a carpenter builder. We bought a house in Cornwall and renovated it from an empty dump, empty for 2 years, hadn't been touched in 50 years.
Wow.
We renovated that completely and made it into a house share, a house of multiple occupation, very high standard, soundproofing, high speed internet, all of that, because I wanted to create this for people. But while I was renovating the house, it was extremely stressful. I was working full time at the uni and doing this. The builder went in hospital. The week we had the keys, there was a lot of different factors, but that's when I really came together with my community and reached out. I wasn't scared to ask, like, help me.
Does anyone know
Oh
someone who
yeah, I
can?
was hitting up all my contacts big
Yeah.
time at that stage. And yeah, from it just shows the power of having that strong network around you and being also vulnerable to ask. Don't be scared to ask for help ever.
And I think that's come through actually in quite a lot of the podcasts we've done. No matter what people's journeys have been or their direction of travel or what their end kind of destination is actually building those networks as
Yeah.
you go. And as someone who doesn't naturally or didn't naturally enjoy networking, um, you're completely right. I've realized how important it is and how imperative it is. It's so easy to just head down, get on with the doing, immerse
Yeah.
yourself in your business and the people that immediately surround you, and not sort of take a morning to just go and see what other interesting people there are out there. And
Yeah.
actually, you'll always find someone that resonates with you that you can either learn from or you can work with. So, yeah, I think networking. And networking is more fun now, isn't it?
It
It's
is
definitely
definitely.
moved on from sort of all sit down and
Yeah.
30 seconds about yourself and
Oh.
yeah, I know, vomit.
Well, I had to do a lot, working in sort of global marine sector, and the demographic was very different to what I was at the time, and very few females in that industry. And I remember I hated it at the beginning, absolutely hated it, walking into these trade shows and I've got nothing in common with these men who are in the 50s wearing suits talking about shipping. What can I talk to them about? Then I thought, okay, my dad, what does he like? Okay, golf, cricket, rugby, swimming. So I just started talking to him about the hobbies,
Yeah,
and it was a game changer.
yeah,
And the relationship formed. I thought, okay, you don't have to be an expert of what they're
yeah,
promoting. You just talk to people as humans, and that's such an important point. We're all human beings. It doesn't matter your age, where you're from, what your job title is. We
yeah.
are all inherently just humans, just getting through as best we can
Absolutely, yeah.
every
And
day.
some of the people that I love spending time with the most from kind of a business perspective, but and personal now as well, is are people that maybe on the outside, they're different age to me. They might, males, females, they might have different job roles, they might be in different places in their life. But actually, when you talk on that human level, they're the people that just pique your interest and the people that you could just listen to all day or enjoy spending time with because they just make you feel like good
Yeah,
and you have fun
absolutely.
with them.
Yeah, and
So,
exactly. That's the main thing, isn't it? Having fun. And I have found the secret of eternal youth.
oh my goodness,
Like,
share.
this is going to go wild. This is going to be going viral.
I feel like you should have opened with this.
I have found the secret of eternal youth. Okay, guys, ready?
Go on.
It is having friends of different ages, but particularly younger than you,
Okay.
because they bring a different perspective
Hmm.
to things, and they have different ideas, and they challenge your own ideas as well. So I joined Nuki Women's Surf Club a couple of years ago, which was absolutely phenomenal because
Yeah.
everyone's equal in a wetsuit and you're getting
Yeah.
smashed in the face with a wave. It's like it's not coming down your face.
Yeah.
Everyone is definitely
Yeah.
equal. You don't talk about what you do, it's just being
Yeah.
in that moment. But that's that sort of community, and also the business community as well. It's just mixing with different, like you said, different
Yeah.
ages, men and women, different trades. Yeah.
I'm the oldest person at Wyfield, so I'm going to take that advice
Wow. Yeah.
that surrounding myself every day with all
You have found the
these.
secret
Yeah.
of eternal youth,
Here we
Laura. Well
go.
done. Yeah.
Inadvertently.
Exactly. Yeah. Well done.
So when you start working with a client, what does that process look like? What do you do to get to know them? How do you know if that client, you talked about working with people you want to work with? So how do you know that?
Well, I like doing a bit of research,
Okay.
first of all,
A good stalk.
Google. Yeah,
Yeah.
Google. Very curious, I prefer to call it, rather than being nosy.
Okay.
Um, but also we have a chat beforehand, a non-obligation call, just
Hmm.
to find out, what do they need help with. And I'm not always the right person.
Yeah.
So I'm not afraid to say, like, I haven't got knowledge in that sector, or I don't think my experience can help you. I mean, it's rare that it happens, but I think if you say no to a client, they're going to appreciate it. Also, the other mentor you're forwarding them to is going to appreciate it as well.
Yeah.
So but it's all, having the initial call to find out what their problem is and how I can help them. But most of the problems in business, despite the age of the person, the experience that they have in business, and the age of their business, is the same problems come up the whole
Yeah.
time. It's incredible. And I always start with the end. What do they want at the end? What, and then you work back.
And you understand if you're able to help them on that journey that they want to
Absolutely,
go
yeah.
on.
Mission, vision, and values are so important,
Yeah.
and something I didn't have my Mexican businesses,
Mhm.
hence running around stressed with flip-flops. Now I'm like, stop, let's get the foundation strong.
Yeah.
Like the property, then build on that. Yeah. I love the beach. We're in Cornwall. So I thought, let's get a combination of both of them. Because as I mentioned before, I don't like being in boardrooms for a long
Yeah.
time. I always encourage the clients who come, the guests, just stand up. If you need to go to the loo, wiggle, shake your arms around if you want, do the
Yeah.
Mexican wave. So what I'd love to do with any day in-person event is break it up with outside in the nature.
Okay.
So I have that in Cornwall. After lunch, we walk down to the beach and it's always phones off, hidden away. Just reflect on what you've done in the morning. You've set some amazing goals.
Yeah.
When you're looking out at the sea or you're in nature, you're thinking differently. Your creative side of the brain is working and everyone comes back and adjusts their goals. They realize they've been playing too small and they
Okay.
ramp it up.
That's really interesting. And you find that
Yeah.
happens every time?
Yeah, every single time something changed and it's like, ah. And
Yeah.
everyone always comments on the questionnaires afterwards. That walk, the reflective walk, you just need time to,
Yeah.
you're in a group of, 10 women or whatever, but you still need that time to just decompress almost because it's a lot of the time we don't stop to work on our business. We just go, 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 to-do list, tick, tick, tick.
Yeah.
So I love incorporating nature in any shape or form. I've been up to Launceston. A lady came down from Wales. We met in Launceston randomly. Okay, let's go walk around the castle.
I've never been there, but
Yeah,
yeah.
no, it's gorgeous, but it's just a break. And then on that walk, she was talking about different things. She wanted to host a networking event. I asked her questions about that. And by the end, she's like, whoa, no, that's not for me. It wasn't right for her at the time. So it's not time wasted. We're always talking and reflecting about business, but incorporating the outside into business is fun.
Yeah.
It's different, it's innovative, and people love it. So yeah, looking forward to doing a lot more of them.
And I think it's interesting what you said at the beginning around people having lots of ideas, and business owners are
Yeah.
naturally sort of entrepreneurial
Yeah.
um, and excited about the next thing. So
Oh yeah.
I guess it must be tough to try and
Yeah.
just say, calm down a minute, let's look at those and
Yeah.
work out, like, to balance that,
Yeah.
wanting to kind of cheerlead them on for all of those exciting ideas and focus them in the right direction at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday I was working with a client at Cornwall Innovation Centres, and I love a whiteboard. He goes, oh, I've never used it before. I said, okay, let's get out. What's happening in your life now? Business wise, he had sort of 4 projects going on, all of great importance. I was like, okay. And then a personal thing, moving house. Okay, so we have to consider everything holistically because if something's happening in your personal life, it's going to affect the business whether you like or not. And then we cut it down. And then he realized, okay, I'm going to focus on that for the next quarter because it is time sensitive. It affects other people in my team. So it's literally get it all out of your head on a whiteboard or paper. I love the, analog. Again, it's the different side of the brain working rather than typing it into a laptop.
Mm-hmm.
Get it all out of your head. Let's look at the priorities. And it's just that constant probing, friendly challenging, I like to call it. and people have that answer themselves.
Yeah.
But it's they need that direction.
Yeah.
And then he realizes, oh my God, we had a 2-hour session booked. We went on for 4 hours. We were both hungry at the end. I was like, we need to stop this now. But he goes, oh my God, the clarity I've achieved
I was
now
gonna say
is
clarity
phenomenal.
as,
Yeah. So, and then we divided it up, take a picture of that, brain dump. Okay, let's divide it up into quarters. And so he's got real clarity of what's happening now. Something he had to have done this week because someone else was waiting for the answer by Monday. He didn't realize that before. He thought he could do everything at once, all 5 projects. I thought, whoa. So it's clarity.
Yeah.
Just getting that, I think, is the main result we want for everyone I work with.
And do you find people come and look for mentoring when they're at a stage that they've maybe not lost their way, but they've got stuck in a rut? Do you find that
Yeah.
it starts as something that's a bit reactive to how you're feeling rather than proactive,
Yeah.
but then it flips somewhere and the narrative flips and then
Absolutely,
you're actually
yeah.
looking?
Yeah, and it's sometimes it's sort of people initially just starting out, something's not working, and it's such a simple little tweak. It's like, whoa, and then you see them
Yeah.
flying. But yeah, I've had other people, been in business for 12 years plus, and they're struggling with something. Yeah, you're right. It's that being stuck, and it's having that confidential sounding board or someone else's sort of fresh eyes looking at the business. Again, it's sort of taking that time to stop, stand back, and look at it, as a as an eagle. No marketing person likes that analogy of
No.
a seagull. They're awful. But just, taking that time to stop.
Yeah.
And it really does help with overwhelm as well. Like we discussed before, loads of ideas going on. It's like, how do you stop that? It's like, you just got to stop. And it sounds so counterintuitive. A lot of people, send the messages to me, oh, hey, I need your help. Or they hear me talk at an event, meet me at a networking event, oh, I need your help. And then, oh, I haven't got time for the call. I was like, okay, you haven't got time for a 10-minute call I said, I know it sounds so counterintuitive. You've got a massive to-do list. You have no time to stop. But believe me, if you stop, work with me, you will actually go faster.
Yeah.
But it's just challenging them to stop. And, I've been there myself. It's really hard to stop. But once you do it, make a plan, follow the plan. It's like, oh, wow, it's so much easier. So much easier, more time off. You inevitably make more money. You're less stressed. You have more fun.
Yeah, exactly. So, taking some time to have some fun so that you're still finding your business fun.
Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
okay, get it.
Notes to self, yeah.
I know. Silently making a little note here. So what's ahead for you and Tide's business?
So I am expanding out of Cornwall.
Wow,
Woo,
okay.
I'm doing strategy days, next year in, this year in Plymouth at Borringdon Hall.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be working in Plymouth, Exeter and Bristol for those in-day strategy days.
Yeah.
And continuing with online mentoring with anyone globally. I've got a client I'm signing in Grand Cayman.
Wow.
Where I used to
I
live.
feel like you need a trip for...
Well, I obviously need a trip. Yeah, I used to live there for 4 years, so I know her. She's a friend. She's got a fabulous photography business. So I did say to her, right, let's work together, and then I can do a business at the beach strategy day in Grand Cayman. So watch this space.
That sounds good.
I put it out there now. It's got to happen.
Yeah, I know. Manifest it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I have one last question for you, which is, in your household, having Argentinian and Mexican daughter and husband, the food must be insane.
It is. And I don't cook any of it. It's fabulous.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, that is.
Yeah. I am not allowed in the kitchen. I'm ridiculous. I can make a cup of tea and that's about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today and just giving us a little bit of insight into what you do and how you bring fun into businesses. So
Excellent.
that's today's F word with Becky Loto.